Watkins will be fighting in our women's main event later today. She is a Midwest Finishers champ, so you know this team's always prepared for this rule set and for the no-gi sim-only brackets.
All right, we are underway with our 155-pound bracket.
Giovanni sits right away. Pedro's on top in the blue. Giovanni's in the red and black. Right away, Gio's on the legs.
Yeah, inverting through straight away here. Very comfortable in his guard here. Now we find ourselves in a double-seated position. And the interesting thing about 155 pounds, you could see little men's game like this where both guys are on their butts, but you also get guys that are big enough to be strong and top player wrestlers. So you get a wide variety of skills when you look at the 155-pound division.
It's one of the, I think, in any grappling fan, this is one of the more enjoyable divisions to watch. You know, you get so many great athletes, such a fast-paced. And again, our bracket today, you're going to see some real high-level talent that you're seeing all over the world.
He's in there looking to set up straight ankle here.
Almost looks like a Wojciech.
Yep. Giovanni inverting through, doing a good job defending there. Seems to be very flexible, very confident in his open guard here.
Giovanni, I believe, is coming off a win at no-gi pans at the blue belt division just last week. He's a young competitor, but he already has a ton of experience.
And I'll make the comment again, right? You're competing at blue belt for no-gi worlds, right? No reaping, no heel hooks, no toe holds, no knee bars. And we'll get to see what his arsenal looks like once we kind of get all those factors into play here, which is what Pedro is actually used to, right? He's used to these rule sets here. But he's setting up a tight straight ankle lock here from the 50-50.
Looks a side straight foot. Gio, is again coming from Watkins Wrecking Crew, home of Jet Thompson and Layla Watkins. He is very familiar with the more advanced kind of non-IBJJF leg game. I can guarantee you that. And he did not look panicked at all in these leg exchanges. Again, both guys are playing with fire a little bit when you're getting these deep in the leg locks when you're this dry and you're this fresh. Absolutely. But again, at this weight, you'll see a lot of flexibility in the ankles that you might not see at the 185 or 205 pound division.
Choi bar.
Giovanni decides to come on top.
This is a very technical set of exchanges.
Start the bracket.
Absolutely. I mean, Giovanni looks a little small for the weight class, right? But like his movement, right? I mean, very elite. Both these guys seem like they have very elite grappling and knowledge of leg locks.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty tight.
Nice.
He's got that shadow hook. He's got the foot.
He's coming over the top with that short, straight foot like they're calling it. I believe the European guys call it the trend lock.
That's tight. That's
high straight foot lock, and Pedro just slips right out, but it looked like that hit a real tight bite on his foot.
Yeah, we're lucky that foot did not come with him there because that was...
This is one of those matches, too, where, these guys might eat a pop early, and you got 3 more matches after this.
Absolutely.
So, and if you win and you take some abuse on your legs, it may come back to haunt you later in the day. And again, this is not a one and done like our first 2 matches. To win this bracket, you have 4 tough fights. I mean, this is a real tough one to start for either guy.
And Pedro opting to come on top and gets right into a head and arm here, and this is a very compromising position for Giovanni. No matter how good and flexible your guard is, when you get your head and shoulder pinned like this, just fundamental 101 jiu-jitsu, it is very difficult no matter what kind of guard.
A black belt like Pedro.
Absolutely.
And I honestly think, he played the legs. He's obviously very good there and very comfortable there. But when you were having kind of a back and forth game, this may be the smarter strategy, especially because, again, as we get later in the match towards overtime, these are positions you will wear opponents out with.
Absolutely.
You do not want to be under here for 5 minutes, even if you don't get passed or submitted. This is going to make you uncomfortable and tired and hard to breathe.
You can already, you could hear from the commentary booth the big breaths coming from Giovanni.
He may be partially smothered under here. He may have his mouth covered by the shoulder and
he's
just trying to force it free. And again, that will definitely wear you out as the matches go on.
And right here, just day one fundamental jiu-jitsu being implemented right here. Classic head and arm, driving the knee through to the 3/4 mount.
Little deep half action from Gio. He's got the arm 100. It can create that scramble and escape, but it also can get your arms caught and can put you in a very compromised position.
Yeah, this could be a little bit challenging. Sometimes with Giovanni's right arm, if you were to bring it under the right leg, you could dive yourself a little bit deeper, but you do expose your back in the process. And this is just very tough because Pedro's crossface is just causing Giovanni's face to look to the left, right? It's very hard for him to turn in, get under him, forward shrimp when your shoulder and your head is being pinned with, elite black belt pressure like this.
Yeah. This is a position that looks like a pass is going to happen. It's just a matter of how long Gio can hold, or does he want to scramble early to try to conserve some space before it gets too deep? Good job reconnecting to the foot from Giovanni on the bottom. Pedro almost pulled all the way out. Pedro now really trying to isolate that arm and get it in the head and arm. Fully locked in, but it's...
Giovanni doing a little muffle from the bottom there.
They're trying to return that, not being able to breathe favor.
And for those of you that are watching, when we say muffle, that means hand over the mouth, which in some tournaments is illegal, but in this tournament, right, especially once you start to get real tired and you put your hand over someone's mouth, it can cause a ton of anxiety. And Giovanni finding himself in the top position here, looking to pass Pedro's guard.
Yeah, Pedro decided to go for more of a knee cut style and gave Gio the space. I think it was a good option. He wasn't really getting that full pass without giving a little space. And I think he definitely wore Gio out a little bit, so that was probably going to help him. And now he's back to the passing. And this is something I always tell students, very rarely at a high level you're going to pass on that first attempt. You pass, you keep pressure, they escape just like this, and then you re-enter it the same way with a little bit more pressure and they're a little bit more tired. This is more likely that Pedro's actually going to get a pass because he now has done that early work, and right there he gets the pass. Just as I said, like all that work from the beginning really paid off here. And now the head and arm is getting isolated now that the full mount is achieved. Look for a smother, arm triangle, arm bar kind of setup from Pedro here.
Yeah,
and transition through
while
those attacks.
Giovanni's out of that, he's using a ton of energy to bridge and explode. And, even if Pedro doesn't get the submission here, he is cooking him for that overtime period, and this will definitely play a factor if this does go to overtime.
And with, over 3 minutes left, Pedro definitely has time to find the submission, not just work for overtime. This could be a smother coming up. He has both the arm high. He's really looking to keep that pressure in.
And these have been big explosions from Giovanni. I mean, after you do 3 or 4 of those unsuccessfully, too, it takes a toll on your mental health of the match as well, because it's very defeating, giving everything you have to bridge, not only tiring, but mentally exhausting as well. You get one more bridge and then flatten back out.
He's doing a good job of trying to get on his side, not just staying flat, but he's not really getting anywhere. Pedro's position is so tight and so solid. The bridges are just allowing Pedro to work slightly higher up. Pedro for the mounted triangle setup.
Mounted triangle. This has been the deepest sub attempt so far. And Giovanni trying to rev through. It's kind of hard to wait. What's happening?
He has his left leg wrapped inside of the arm to try to pull him back down. It's a very interesting way to stop the triangle from happening. Again, it's going to be a hard position to breathe from and move from, but he may stifle the triangle attempt from here. Almost like a buggy choke type.
Yeah, he's creating a little bit of a wedge, but
the triangle. I don't know if he can hold this for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
this is going to be a lot of pressure on his head, neck, and hip.
And Pedro might fall back to his back here and finish it more traditionally as well. It just depends to how the scramble goes here. But if you're on top, stay on top. And it looks like he's just muffling the absolute heck out of him.
Now the leg has been let go of, and now he's going back to this. Buggy from the bottom mounted triangle. Pedro now closes the triangle. He's going to try to attack the arm and the head at the same time.
Ooh. And Pedro postured up there for a second.
Yeah, he's going to start pulling the head to try to put that pressure on Giovanni with the triangle controlled. He may muffle him. I think this is a real tough position now. He's looking at that angle.
This is terribly, terribly exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Giovanni does get the win somehow and moves on, I mean, this is about...
Now the triangle is locked from the bottom guard. He's rolled him. He's going to pull the head hard and try to readjust the angle. He goes reverse triangle.
Reverse triangle, which is the smart thing to do when the arm is tucked like this.
And he may switch again to finish back to the normal triangle.
Yeah.
He has 90 seconds to try to finish this.
Yeah,
he's going to Kimura. He may go backside to finish that triangle.
And this is a very tight triangle here with the reverse.
I have a feeling he may switch.
Oh, there it is. There's the switch, and that's going to be it right there. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to survive.
He's going to pull the head, and there it is. Beautiful transitions from Pedro Serrano. But a really, really nice effort from Giovanni against a really tough opponent. Great way to start the bracket.
Absolutely.
That was not an easy opening round matchup for Pedro.